Powered by Riverside FM.
Welcome to another edition of Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button and consider becoming a member. Lots of perks for members. Those that become members over the next month will automatically be entered into a drawing to win an official Minnesota Vikings Winter Warrior jersey. So please consider becoming a member. JJ McCarthy, there's been a lot of talk about him. He's been making the rounds. And I don't know if anybody saw JJ McCarthy on the Rich Eisen interview, but I think it was really telling. And I'm going to say this, man, and again, I have no physical evidence really to back him up, and there's not a whole lot of body of work in terms of being on the NFL level, but listen to me, man. JJ McCarthy's a stud, and I'm not going to sit here and just scream and yell about him. I just know a stud when I see him. Minnesota Viking fans, UP Nation Skull fans, get ready for something special. I've been around sports for a long time, and the one thing that I can truly recognize, and again, I'm not saying that I'm 100% perfect, but when I see certain people, man, I'm up in the 90s. I'm about 95% sure. JJ McCarthy is going to be a stud in his league. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. If you haven't seen the Rich Eisen interview or the interviews that are going around with JJ McCarthy and how he presents himself to the media, what he talks about, what he sounds like, I think you need to do that because it'll give you an insight of who this young man is. And I know there's going to be some people that say, well, you know, that's just him talking. That's just his personality. Sure, he has a great personality, but it's all about the physical on the field. Well, I'm going to tell you this. The only evidence that you have with the physical on the field is go back and watch film of this kid in high school. You can go back and watch film of this kid when he played at Michigan. You can go back and watch film of this kid when he played for the national championship. And then you can go back, and if you were in training camp and saw him play, and if you saw his one preseason game that he played this past season, this kid is absolutely special. Will he be perfect when he steps into a Minnesota Viking uniform early? Only time will tell. Probably not will be perfect. I mean, he's essentially starting his rookie year all over again. So I'm sure there's going to be some brain freezes at times where he doesn't make the right decision. But over a long period of time, what you have for the first time in a long time, Minnesota Viking fans, and this is where you should be happy. You have a future franchise quarterback in JJ McCarthy. You can almost be sure of that. Like, you can gauge what he's going to be. I think he is going to be top level with some of the other top level quarterbacks in this league. That's just what I think. I think he's going to be there. But I think his floor is just being a serviceable, average, really good quarterback in the league. Like, that's his floor. And a quarterback that you can essentially build around. And what I mean by that, I think he's going to be better than what you saw from Sam Darnold last year. And everybody was looking at if Sam Darnold played the way he played last year for the Minnesota Vikings, and let's say that was his level of play for future years, if that's just where he was, if that's just where Sam Darnold is at, I'm telling you right now, JJ McCarthy is going to be better than that over a longer period of time. And I looked at what Sam Darnold did last year as a great performance, but I thought it was a little bit better than average. It was pretty good. I think it felt different because Sam Darnold was in the basement at other places. The New York Jets, Carolina Panthers, really sat the bench for the San Francisco 49ers. And all of a sudden, he has this great season with the Minnesota Vikings. And I just don't see him repeating that anywhere else. I think part of it was the system, and I think part of it was him being able to make plays. But in terms of talent and where I think Sam Darnold is going to be, I just think JJ McCarthy is going to be better. You can look at Daniel Jones, who may be his backup next year. Daniel Jones has some spotlight times with the New York Giants, won a playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings, and I believe that JJ McCarthy will be better than that. You look at what we had with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins had some great years with the Minnesota Vikings, fell short in the playoffs. His last playoff run with the Vikings, won a playoff game with the Vikings. I think JJ McCarthy will be better than that. And I think that's his floor, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's JJ McCarthy's floor. Just watch, man. You guys should be excited. You should be excited when you watch this young man and the way he presents himself. I tell it to you all the time. People get so enamored with the physical attributes of some of these quarterbacks, how big and strong their arms are, what their size is, 6'4", strapping guy that can see over the offensive line, whether the guy is mobile or not mobile. We get caught up in all the physical attributes of these quarterbacks. And yes, they're important, but they're not that important. It is the way you are wired. I say it all the time. Kirk Cousins is not a scrub quarterback. Sam Darnold, although he didn't show it until this past year, is not a scrub quarterback. But what those two guys are missing is being confident alphas in situations where you need to be a confident alpha. JJ McCarthy is that, dude. You can see it. And how confident is this young man in the interviews? Like, I'm just so impressed with that side of it. Like, I see the physical stuff, but I'm consistent about all this physical stuff. Like, it just doesn't, all the stuff just doesn't do it for me. I mean, look at Will Levis. Look at the body of Will Levis and his arms and what he did in college with Kentucky. Everyone thought he was going to be a stud, but he doesn't necessarily have it upstairs. Not saying that the guy is not intelligent. Like, I'm not going to go there. I'm sure the guy is very intelligent, but is he an alpha? You got to find, if you figure out if your quarterback is an alpha, along with the arm talent, you got something. JJ McCarthy is an alpha, man. He's won everywhere he's gone, guy. At a high clip. He works on his mental approach to the game, meditates before games, spews Latin all the time. And when he comes with these interviews, he just exudes confidence. That's JJ McCarthy. Minnesota Viking fans, we have something in JJ McCarthy, something special. And that's why when I hear all these rumors about the Minnesota Vikings should keep Sam Darnold and trade JJ McCarthy, man, what are you talking about? It is so hard to find a franchise quarterback nowadays. Like, I don't know in the upcoming draft if there's a true franchise quarterback in that draft, because you got to be a leader of men, man. And you got to come in focused, and you can't come in with a lot of demands and a lot of baggage. That's what a future franchise quarterback is. And I heard rumors that, people want JJ McCarthy traded to the Browns. And I'm like, man, listen, you can't give up JJ McCarthy. He is special. And right now I have no resume that I can show you of why I feel the way I feel. So I'm probably going to get people that are going to get on me in the comments, but I'm ready for it. I'm just going to let those comments lie and watch next year and see what this young man is going to do. Again, is he going to be perfect? Probably not. But Minnesota Viking fans, UP Nation, get ready for something special. I can smell it in the air. Every time I hear this kid talks, he is wired the right way. I know Jim Harbaugh is biased, but he called this kid the best quarterback in the draft. And I'm not so sure. That Jim Harbaugh was not telling the truth. I feel something special with this kid. The motivation that he has by not being able to play, and all the quarterbacks that got an opportunity to play last year that were drafted with him, has to be great motivation for that young man. And I think he's going to do everything possible to win that position next year. You can bank on that. We've got something special in JJ McCarthy. We just got to let him heal, get healthy, give him realistic expectations for next year. And I think this young man is going to be around for a long time. And inevitably, he is going to bring home a Super Bowl for the Minnesota Vikings. I just feel it in my bones. Please hit that like and subscribe button. This has been Unconventional Playbook. We will see you when we see you.